So hi everybody and welcome back to this Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginner. This is video 15 for our tiny game and we continue from our last video. So we are back in Unreal Engine. I open up here my content drawer. Here we have already a game instance. We have already assigned this to our project, and now what I want to do is I open up the game instance and I want initialize now our load save system here. First we go back to the content drawer. We migrate the load save system from the other project, so you can see I have already done this here. Okay, and the first thing what we do now is go to the game instance, find it, open it up, double click on it, and then search for the node event in it, because this node here will be called by the engine when it is initializing our game instance. After that one, we just implement our load game data, which we have already talked about in one of the other videos. This is just the load game data where it checks does the save game exist. If not, we create a save game object. We make this variable save game to slot with the save, and if it exists one, then it is just loading from their car. We have to cast it to the save game object here and then save it to the variable so we can access it later. And how you can make this very fast is very simple. You go here to the content drawer again. Here's the migrated files. You click on the core. These are the two files. The game mode has the load save system. Double click to open it. Here you mark that what you need again. Control C to copy. Go to the game instance. Control V and then confirm here. Then you have all the code here. And you can see this is almost the same thing here. And for the function here, it has no function. You just create here the function. Then you go again back to the game mode, you open up this function and then you copy just this part here, Control C, and then you go back to the game mode and then you open up your function, you paste this one here, and then you adjust every file here that it works. We have already talked about this one. It should look then like this one here, and important is this part here. I think this was not there, or was it? And after that you go back to the event graph and you can see the part here behind we don't need, and the reason for that is this is assignment. Right now we don't want to make an assignment because this assignment was there from the demo project, was just getting the actor position, but perhaps we want to make different things. And after you clean this up, it should look like this one. You can see looks almost the same like here, so I get rid of this one and now I use that one. And from this point here we have, when you remember here, we check, we load game from slot if exists, and the save here is later here. This file, this one here is save. It's save. It looks normally like that, but when I right click on this one and on the bottom we see convert to get, then it looks like this, and this save here has the data which we can use now. But we have here a problem, because when I go now here to my load save system, and I hope you have here set this up because we have talked about this, the problem is here it says create save game object, and here is that what we already assigned. That was that what we have also migrated. This is the save game. Let's open up this one, and the problem here is very simple. It's not a big problem. We go here, and if I click this sign here, it is open up this one here, but look where it is open up, in a folder where it is not in our folder view. And now you have two options. You can just use this one, or we create here one new, and we are creating here one new, so we learned this. So again, here in my folder D, I go here, create a new folder, right click new folder. I call this SG because save game, and let's write save game and then underscore D again, that I know this is from the folder D. And now open up this one, right click here, then go to again to the blueprint class here, again open up this one and right here save game. Then you should find this one. Very important. There are probably other things. This is not very important. These are just created other save games. We are interested in this base here, save game select. Let's call this also SG for save game underscore, and then you can name it like you want. I call it save game 1 underscore D, and then we open up this one, and here we have to specify what we want save. And how we do this, with variables. Here on the side you can see variables. We click on here, but we don't know which variable we want saved right now, so we make just a test. Let's write here just test underscore, for example, health. I choose here another type because health is a number, and there are different kind of number. We have an integer 64, float means comma, and integer means most time full numbers, or also negative numbers, but full numbers without comma. Let's select this integer, and if you want assign here a default value, you have to click compile, save, and then on the details panel here down, here you see the section default value. Now you can assign here a default value. Let's assign a default value of 99, just test purposes. Then again, when you assign this one, compile here, save. Okay, now we have created a save game. Now we have to use it, so we go back to our game instance. Here is this part create save game object. Instead of this one, we search now that what we have created, and you can see it is already listed here, and I select this one, I compile again, I save, and it says here an error. And very important for beginners, try to read the error log here, because understanding this one will help you debug many things. And let's get started. It says here can't connect pins. Pins are this one. It can't connect pins. Return value is here. Okay. And save. So with save is this one here, so that it can't connect this part here. And the nice thing about this error log is it is even saying what's the problem. It says here SK save game 1D. This is that what I just assigned here. Object reference, we have to know why this is an object reference, because we have assigned it here, and what we get here out is the object reference. Okay, is not compatible with BP save data object reference, which means this save here, this is this BP save data and object reference, because again here's the reference. We are connecting this object reference to this object reference, and they are not compatible. And if you read here the next line, it says here even more, invalid pin connection from return value, this is this part here, to save, this one here. Exactly this one is not working. And why is this not working? Remember before we had this BP save data here. If I compile now, it is working, and the reason for that is when we created this BP save data, we have take this return value, and then we have used promote to variable. That means we have created this one, this variable save here. Look, this one here with the type BP save data. So this one is the BP save data. And if I'm changing now this one here, this is the type, to SK save data, you can see this type and this type are not compatible. And here we are trying to connect them. That's why this is not working. So the solution is just change the type here from this variable save to this one here. So I can go, and you can see I can click it down, and I just write this one here. It says here SG, okay, save. Okay, and we found this. Here is SG save game 1D, and you can see there are many options. Important is the first one, it's the object reference. Object reference means all time the created object here on top. The other one we will learn this too, but they are not so important. Most time it's the object reference here on top. And then it says here change the variable type. We can just click on this one, and then you see again here it looks also a little bit strange now. Okay, and then we have here, we select this node, right click, and then we go to refresh node. We do this one with this one too, refresh node, but we have here a problem because we are casting again to the old save game. This one will not work too, so we select this one and to delete. From this here we write here cast, and again we want cast to this one what we have here. We write SG, and you can see it pops up already. So I cast to this one, and now I connect this one here with this. This should be now changed. This one we connect with this one, and now we can press here compile because we have everything refreshed. If you have errors, just refresh the node, check if you have changed all the types, and then it should work. And that what I just showed you now is a really bad way to do it, but I just wanted to show you the refresh node and how you can update everything. testing because there is a much easier way. Normally you could just delete this one and then just go from here after you change this one and then promote to variable and just create the variable from scratch. It's much easier, faster, and you don't have a headache to create everything and so on. But right now we have learned the other way as well, because like I said, I want to just show you how this all works with refreshing and all this kind of stuff. Okay, and after you set this up, we go back to our event graph. Here is our load save system. Here is that, let's make it from scratch. Here's the variable which we get with our data. We get to right here get, right click, we go to convert to validate get if we want to check if this is valid. Normally it should be valid, and then from the valid is valid, you will use the data from here later. Right now we have just this test health, and let's try to use this anyhow for testing purposes. But before we do this one, let's get rid of our migrated data here, because like I said, we want only keep that one, and the migrated data has done its job. Now we can delete this one, so right click on this one, just go here to delete, then we delete this. We can here force delete because because we have everything there where we need. But don't forget, after you deleted this one, select your folder again, right click, and here is update redirectories and references. Click this one, so this one stays all time updated. And for testing, we will create faster player controller, because right now we have nothing. So with a player controller we can still test it. So the first thing, we go to our folder again, right, and then new folder, and then you write player controller. I made it already. I called it PC player controller _D. After you have created this one, open it, right click again, you go to the blueprint class, and then here is already the player controller. Of course you can write it down here too, player controller, and it should go here. It is all time this player controller. This one and this one is the same. You select this, click this, and then you call it what you like. I called it PC for player controller _player controller. You can call it what you like, _D. Then you open up this one. The question here is why we have created a player controller, and the answer is because in the player controller we can get nodes which are keyboard keys. For example, I have here the keyboard key. How you get this one? Right click here again, search for example key or something else, and then you will see here keyboard events, and then you can click anything here. Just find one, then you select this keyboard, go here to the details panel, click on this white keyboard symbol, it is highlighted yellow, and then you press any keyboard you want to use. In my case I want pressed here key, let's press now L here, and you can see L is automatically selected. Again, you have just select this one, press any key. That means later when I play the game and press L, this here will be fired, and now we have just to make a test logic for our little instance. And our goal is very simple now. I want go to the game instance, and in game instance I want just get here the save variable, and from the save variable I need this output because I have access to our save game object, and the save game object has this variable test health which I want print on the screen. So how we do this, back in our player controller, I start with the node. This is a built-in node, get game instance, right click, get game instance. This is just a node which is getting a general game instance. Now we have to specify this, so we have cast to our game instance which we have created here in our folder, this one here. So I cast it to GI game instance in my case, so where we are here. So I make here cast GI game instance, this is this one here, and then I just connect this one here. Now I have access to the game instance here, so I have access with this one to the game instance because here I can get here what I want, and from here there is this variable save. So what I do now is get me save here. I type here save from this pin, and you can see get save. Now I have access from my game instance the save, and we know the save here has this test value, right? The save here was created here, save, and save is just this one here. You can see from here we have created this one, we have this one saved in the variable save, and now I can get from save this test variable here. So let's get this one. I drag from out and write here test variable. I don't need it because on the bottom on the variables section you can see this one, get this one. So now I want print this one on the screen, and there is again a built-in node. It is called print string for just testing purposes, not used really in games, just for our development. Let's write here print, print string, and then you can see this no point and this point is not the same, but it is auto converting this one, so that's fine. Again, you can select this one, press Q to straight line this one, and we are almost finished with this. Now I can compile, save, and we can test it. So it could happen that the test will fail because before we have changed here the type, and if you have started this game before and it has used the other type here to create this save file on your hard drive, it will not work because we have to delete this. Should create now the save file here with this save game object. So how we can fix this, you go here to the folder view, you select any file, for example our save game, then you click right click, and then you go here and say show in Explorer. Here in the Explorer you go back in the folder view a little bit. First you go here to the content. You can see here is your project and other things, but you go one step more back to the folder view, and here you have more folders, and important is here the saved. Our saved game will be saved here. I double click on it, and then here in save we go here to save games. This one, let's open this one up, and you can see this save here we have specified here in our variable, and this one you are going to delete. Okay, let's delete this. Just click on it, right click and delete. Alright, and with that we go back to Unreal Engine, we go to the main screen, everything is compiled and saved, then we press here start, and then we press L, and you can see the number 99 in the left corner. I press it again, L99, and it works. So we have printed out our value. Oh, I forgot to mention that you have of course to assign the player controller to the game mode. What we have to do, go here to the right side to the world setting, and here's the player controller class, and this time we select that what we just created. This is our PC player controller D, and then it will work. So then you can press the key and it will show up. And again, this is the very basic version. That's enough for us. Of course, you can go on and use later a more advanced version, use the key AI to help you to learn other things. But right now for us, the simple one is enough, and we go on. So if you have any questions like all time, write in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye and good luck.